All right. So once again, first off, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Dash. Double honors to the apostles, teachers, elders of Great Stone. Shalom to you brothers out there pushing this word as word of the Lord in sincerity, in all honesty, in all truth. Right? Shalom to you helps out there, and to you sisters that give a listening ear. Right? This is an impromptu, you know, just just hear medicine, on the things, that's to come and up on this planet, and how people, how the regular peon, just live life day to day as if nothing's gonna happen, right? Full well, of course we know that, the Lord put a spirit upon them of a slumber, that they should not see the things that are taking place. Right? We know as men in the truth, as hopefully like, medicine and thinking on these things, you know, and you can't help but wonder. I mean, the scripture say you examine yourself daily to see whether or not you're in the truth, right? You can't help but wonder, how your mindset is, and is it the right mindset you're in, right? Do you have a demon on you? You need to pray and fast the Lord, for get rid of that spirit. What direction you're going in, right? And you have to keep on doing that, because as the days go on, times wax eviler and eviler, and the more distractions and the Lord, the tests are gonna keep coming. So you gotta keep on praying, to the Lord to keep you in that right mind and that spirit, in that right spirit. Right? But the regular Jake out here not thinking that way, that they're thinking, how they can get rich. That's what I talk about, how they can get rich, how they can make it in this society, not thinking on the Lord, or what the Lord wants for us, or what the Lord prescribed for this place. Right? And that's just the truth. Right? This is Zephaniah 2 verse 3. To seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Right? Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger. Because that's what we're walking into the day of the Lord's anger. So now is not the time to be seeking anything else. Right? You should be seeking the Lord 100-fold. Right? Seek meekness, seek righteousness. Right? That's what we're supposed to be in, meditating, on how we can do our best, to be on the Lord's good side. Right? That's what we need to be meditating on and nothing else. Right? I mean, things are going to cross your mind because we're out here, and we're going to have thoughts. You're going to find yourself doing other things, with something as simple as, something as simple as, what am I going to eat tomorrow? Or something as complex as, how am I going to get this money to pay this rent? Right? But the Lord has all that down. Right? I mean, it's going to cross your mind still, but the Lord has all that down. Right? What we need to be seeking on is the Lord. Right? Pleasing the Lord. Being on the Lord's good side, as I mentioned earlier. Hey, we're about to go over in a what I'm going to describe as perilous times. Right? Perilous times. And we can't be like the regular peon, that's thinking about these trivial stuff. Right? The script, hey, let me get that precept. A precept is beautiful when it comes to, explaining about the times that we're in and how we're supposed to be thinking. This precept is beautiful in breaking that down. As in 2 Ezra 14 verse 14, it said, let should I start from here? No, I'm going to start from 14. It said, let go of the mortal thoughts and cast away the burdens of man. Put off now the weak nature. Right? We gotta put off that burden of man, because hey, I tell there's this young lady that, when I speak to her, I always tell her, you're out here talking about you want to be loved, you want this, you want that, but if things to get in a life and that situation, you're not gonna be thinking about love, right? You're gonna be thinking about life. You're gonna want to live, right? And that's a mindset you have to put yourself in from now, right? Because that is that reality is reality, right? In a situation where your life is on the line, right? In that moment, what the first things that come to mind are the things that you seek to do or whatever. That is what's important, or that is most important then, if you want to put it that way, right? Which is your life. Right, because them people on this side of the planet, they live day to day, they do whatever they want, they make them videos on Instagram, whatever, but people in the Middle East, that they think differently because their situation is different. Is that they live in a more hostile situation, right? So they're more on their toes, right? And if it was similar over here, right? Then so much madness would be going on. You can be on your toes, all the time, wondering if you wonder if a drone strike is going to take you out, right? Wondering if, some random bombing or shooting or, or some missiles going to fall. Because that's what it's like right now in the Middle East, right? It's places like Yemen, places like, on the Gaza Strip, right? That's that mentality they have right now. They're on their toes. They're on their toes, wondering, what's gonna happen now? Is am I gonna die today? Is that type of thing, right? But even more chaos than that is gonna spread throughout the earth, right? And you're gonna find that thinking about trivial things like, oh, what color should I spray my car in? Or, what color shoes should I buy? Should I buy this shirt to match? Those are trivial things, and those things are not important, right? In that time, you're gonna want to be in the Lord's good place, right? If you have knowledge and understanding, that is, right? You're gonna want to be in the Lord's good place, but for the regular peon, you're gonna lose it, and that's the truth. Continuing, set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste to flee from these times, right? So you might have things bothering you. Speaking to the brothers, you might have things bothering you, like whatever it is. We all have things that trouble us day to day, right? But you need to put aside those things, and whenever those things come up, just think about the day of the Lord. Whenever those things come, just think about, in the day of the Lord, when all hell is breaking loose, will I be thinking about these things, or would I be wondering if I'm going to be delivered by the Lord Yahweh Hashem Shai? Right? And that's the way you have to think about it. Whenever you get under upper stress, you just think about the day of the Lord. Whenever stress come on you, for whatever reason, just think about the day of the Lord. Because on that day, your rent won't matter, your woman won't matter, if we're gonna eat later won't matter, what your boss is gonna say to you won't matter, if you how many sick days you have left, if you go to work, yes or no, all that will not matter. Right? All it's gonna be important is deliverance. Am I gonna be delivered? Let me finish the precept. It says, far greater evils than those which thou hast seen shall happen, than those which thou see happen shall be done hereafter. Right? So more evil than your woman leaving you, more evil than your boss not paying for this week, more evil than your landlord giving you a notice, and those are not evil. Right? Those are not evil compared to certain things. So it's going to be worse than all of that. It's going to be worse than your worst nightmare. Right? And all you're going to be thinking about in that time is if you're going to be delivered. Right? And you got to put yourself in that space. That's why the scripture say, wisdom and understanding shall be the stability of their times, and strength of salvation, because knowing the judgment, right, and what is to come, and the reason why the Lord bringing it, and knowing that the fact that the Lord bringing it, right, that's going to be a stability. Knowing that whatever happens on this side is not as important as being delivered by Yahweh Hashem Shai. Right? And all these things are going to happen. All these things are happening already, it is not as important as that. Right? So whenever you come on a little stress, just always think and say, if today was the day of the Lord and all hell breaking loose, would I be thinking about this? Would this have been so important? Just food for thought. I know it was short, but I hope I hit the nail on the head. Until the next one, shalom.